Of three mass shootings in less than 2 days. The first on Saturday night in Monterey Park, then two more Monday. The first on Monday in Half Moon Bay, where a gunman opened fire, killing 7. Then another in Oakland, where 1 person was killed and 7 were injured. Isabel Rosales on the work to determine motives and the mounting calls for action on gun violence.
And this is unbelievable. This is terrible.
Less than 2 days after a gunman opened fire on a dance studio in Monterey Park, killing at least 11 people, another California community rocked by gun violence.
We have never experienced anything like this.
A gunman killing at least 7 people at a mushroom farm and near a trucking facility in Half Moon Bay Monday. The sheriff says children were present at the scene.
Our hearts are torn out of our chests for all these individuals and families.
The arrest of 66-year-old Chun-Li Zhao playing out before TV cameras. Authorities say Zhao had legal possession of a semi-automatic weapon in a state with some of the strongest gun laws in the country.
All of the evidence we have points to this being the instance of workplace violence. The mounted mushroom farm, the first location, is where the subject was employed.
The U.S. has now had more mass shootings in 2023 than at this point in any year on record, according to the Gun Violence Archive. President Joe Biden reacting to the latest mass shooting, calling on Congress to act quickly and ban assault weapons. As authorities work to determine the motives behind these mass shootings, communities are honoring the lives stolen and trying to make sense of senseless acts. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
News around America now. A judge in Georgia ruling today that a final report by a grand jury investigating possible illegal interference in the 2020 presidential election in Georgia will stay secret for now. The Fulton County Superior Court judge considering the release of the report after hearing from prosecutors who wanted it kept under wraps until after they decide whether to press charges. A group of media organizations wants it released. The report is expected to include recommendations for the Fulton County District Attorney on possible criminal prosecution. The investigation is one of several that threaten potential legal consequences for the Republican former president as he seeks re-election in 2024.
To the U.S.-Mexico border now, where migrant crossings are actually down. They've dropped by more than half this month compared to last month, according to Homeland Security officials. In December, the crossings averaged about 7,000 a day, leading up to the anticipated end of the Title 42 immigration restriction. But the Supreme Court has put a temporary hold on its termination. President Joe Biden met with Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador to discuss immigration and issues at the border at the beginning of the year.
Big plans with a big price tag for San Antonio airports. $2.5 billion for a new expansion, but that won't happen overnight, of course. Max Massey spoke with the director of airports about the reasons for the project, the timetable, and the big plans for Stinson Airport.
It's easy. I'm looking at the flights, looking at the way everything's diagrammed. It just makes it so easy for myself, coming from different cities and all that, able to pinpoint where I need to go.
Jesse serves in the Army, and he sees airports around the world. Of course, he realizes how efficient San Antonio International is.
So I'm like, I think I showed up too early.
With this airport as we know it, it's going to look a lot different in the coming years.
It's a $5.2 billion economic impact to the city, the airport is. So, we want to continue to grow that.
The director of airports tells me this airport is a huge economic driver for our city. And the next step of the $2.5 billion expansion comes just next month.
We have some final renderings that we need to bring to council in the middle of February. Once we finalize those efforts, we'll start to work on the enabling projects.
And there are huge plans here at San Antonio International Airport, but it's not the only local airport that could see huge changes.
We went out to the community there at Stinson and sat down and talked about, 4 different alternatives that are available for the community to sit down and look at some of those alternatives.
The idea for Stinson could bring new opportunities, new runways, and new jobs. As for San Antonio International, with a long-term plan now underway, there's a lot of ideas being floated.
Everything's so simple, but a little more attraction to see and get to know San Antonio from the airport and I have to go out.
Max Massey, KSAT12 News.
And on that note, we are joined by San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg for today's KSAT Q&A. Mr. Mayor, thank you for joining us. We had some technical difficulties. I'm glad we got all those figured out with you. But we just did a story on San Antonio Airport and Stinson and how they plan on working together to maybe give us more runways to use. Are you keeping track of this? How excited should we be about this prospect?
I think it's hard to overstate how excited we should be. You know, the redevelopment of the San Antonio International Airport began in earnest as we formed a committee to really look at where our airport should be, and if in fact we can build an airport of the future where it's located right now at San Antonio International. It is a strategic competitive advantage for us because, you know, name a top 10 city or a top 20 city for that matter that you can fly into the heart of the city and be 15 minutes away from anywhere or most places that you would want to go, whether you're a resident or a visitor. And we now have a plan that's in place. We have new terminals, new runway capacity, central processing facility, better ingress, egress. It will be a brand new airport for all practical purposes when this plan is completed. And we will be shovels in the ground by next year on the new terminal, and you'll be able to walk in it in 2028. So this is an extraordinary achievement for San Antonio. So big news on the way. It will be widely known nationally and internationally what we are doing with our airport and our air service here in San Antonio.
We'll all be on standby. That was for you.
I see what
that
you
was
did
for
there.
you.
Yeah.
We got to take a quick break. We have lots more to talk about, though, with you, Mayor. Stay with us right after this. We're continuing our KSAT Q&A with Mayor Ron Nirenberg. So let's talk about coal. We covered earlier in this show CPS Energy's decision to shut down its remaining coal plant. And you talked about how we shouldn't expect this to be the last change to San Antonio energy sources. So what do you think those changes could look like in the coming years?
Well, number one, I think it's very important that we focus on the big picture here. And as far as that goes, the big decision yesterday was that we are finally ending the use of coal here in San Antonio by 2028, something that's been called for in this community for probably a couple decades now. And that's a big win for our community. And we're doing that while maintaining our focus on ensuring that San Antonio is an affordable and reliable electric utility. Publicly owned. It's owned by each and every one of us that is served by power here in San Antonio. So it's very important that we do this methodically and we do it thoughtfully. And where this is going now is that I believe through various resources and the change in technology, et cetera, we're going to continue to accelerate our transition to more renewable technology, cleaner energy, and lower emissions, while also enhancing our reliability. Those of us who, all of us remember the dreary February in which we were experiencing Winter Storm Uri. Part of that was our exposure to the ERCOT energy grid. We can't get off that. We're part of the state grid. But the less we have to rely on ERCOT to serve and to manage our utility here at home, the more that we can produce in a renewable fashion, in a low emission fashion here at home, the better off we will be in those events that are challenging, winter extreme weather events. And so this is a plan that also accelerates our reliability quotient here in San Antonio.
Eliminating that source, that coal source, a lot of people might hear that and think, okay, what about my bills? What is that really going to mean for how much I'm paying for energy? What would you tell them?
Well, number one, our city is growing, our community is growing. We have increasing energy capacity requirements. We are also experiencing changing energy markets. Those are all going to create strains. But what we're trying to do is make sure that we're doing this transition to a reliable and low emissions energy portfolio in the least costly way as possible. So yes, as we have known for years, our energy costs are going up. We have had to make adjustments along the way. We stopped making adjustments for almost a decade, and so we had to start doing those again. But we're not doing them in the same manner that other cities are in terms of the high costs, the increases that we're seeing. I will tell you, just up the road, they're going through 3 increases in 1 year. That's not what we want our San Antonio community to experience. So we will be projecting out the costs of the transition over time and helping to moderate those costs as much as possible. I will tell you that I was up in D.C. last month. There is an Inflation Reduction Act that is focused a lot on this energy transition and making sure that we have affordable and reliable energy all across the country. And they are viewing San Antonio as one place where we can put a lot of emphasis. And so we help to reduce those costs with the programs that are made available through the Inflation Reduction Act as well.
You know, there's always been a lot of talk about your trip to D.C., which is why we couldn't touch base with you last week. But there's always a lot of talk about green jobs in the United States. Can we go one step further and talk about green jobs in San Antonio?
We absolutely can. In fact, the new energy economy, is it's often referred to, which is, solar manufacturing, wind manufacturing. A lot of those jobs are being produced here at home. We do expect that a more significant portion of our nation's energy is going to be derived from solar, particularly in the South. Here in San Antonio, we have a lot of unrealized potential. So those jobs are going to be created here in San Antonio. They already are, and they're going to increase in that capacity. So as we experience locally the energy transition, this is also a boon for our local economy. So there's a win-win on a number of fronts, including, our resiliency as well as our lower emissions in the energy production.
We were showing some pictures there of your D.C. trip. Can you talk to us about, so often these trips are geared towards advocating for something for San Antonio or asking for that. What was really the mission of this trip?
Well, a couple. One is to ensure that San Antonio is getting its fair share of resources made available through the various federal programs, historic programs, such as the Inflation Reduction Act, which is a multi hundreds of billions of dollars program focused on the energy transition in the country, and various elements of rebates related to replacing appliances and things like that for local consumers. We're also talking about the infrastructure law that is bringing millions of dollars to help improve our infrastructure across the country. One big focus we just talked about, which is the airport. But we also have a lot of road infrastructure needs. We're going to advocate for programs and putting in proposals for that. There's also the American Rescue Plan Act, which is, again, being delivered as we speak in terms of relief of the impacts of the pandemic. So making sure that San Antonio is getting its fair share, getting in front of these departments. I had several meetings with members of the cabinet in housing, in our EPA, Department of Commerce, that are all managing these projects. We want to make sure that San Antonio is bringing our fair share home of those projects to improve our community and to help us to have a very strong recovery here.
San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg, always appreciate your time.
Thank you all very much.
All right, we'll see you next time. We'll be right back. It's all about the rain today and measuring exactly how much you got wherever you live.
It seemed like a lot more than half an inch in my neighborhood.
And it probably was. Half an inch to an inch was more of the widespread amounts, but there were definitely pockets of more than that out there. Let's take a look, though, at temperatures for the day. A cool day for us. It was cold for most of the morning with that rain. We got up to 61 degrees. That's 3 degrees shy of the average there. And there's the rainfall total, up to about half an inch of rain reported at the airport. Right now, though, this evening, if you step outside, you feel that wind. Winds are gusting from the west-northwest at about 35 to even 40 miles per hour in places. It's 58 degrees with that sustained wind up to about 20 miles per hour, and it's going to be gusty tonight. Although winds will come down a little bit, we still could see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour throughout the evening. Cold weather for us, too. Temperatures falling into the upper 30s by midnight. Here's a look at the very dynamic system. Here's a hint. Whenever the weather looks like a comma here, it looks like a comma, that's a pretty strong low pressure system. And we're seeing snowfall across North Texas. And yes, even some tornadoes were reported around the Houston area. There's where that low is right now. It's currently exiting, bringing in dry air into San Antonio. Tornado watches still in effect for parts of Louisiana, including New Orleans. And it was south of Houston near Pasadena, where a tornado moved through and did some serious damage, also near Orange, Texas, in East Texas. But as far as rain goes here, that's mainly what we saw. Just some rain, healthy rain in spots around San Antonio. Heavier rain east near Hallettsville, more than 2 inches of rain. Unfortunately, near Del Rio, only about less than 1/4 of an inch of rain, but that was to be expected. Less rainfall amounts the further west you go. And here's a look at neighborhood rainfall totals. Scenic Oaks area up to about 1 inch of rainfall. Near downtown, a little bit less than half an inch reported at the airport. Stone Oak area, 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain. If you need to, go ahead and pause this screen and you can actually pick out various neighborhoods around San Antonio. The only area that kind of missed out on healthier rainfall includes areas in southwestern Bexar County, unfortunately. Otherwise, though, it was nice and welcome rain for us. Should help out the drought conditions at least a little bit. And early tomorrow morning, behind the front that we saw move through, it's going to be cold in the morning hours. We're talking a light freeze in the hill country, perhaps even as far south as Bernie. A light freeze early tomorrow morning. It'll be 34 New Braunfels, 35 in Hondo, 35 here in San Antonio, 36 in Del Rio, and a bit of a wind chill too. So we're going to have winds only at about 5 to 10, but that's enough to make it feel colder than what the thermometer reads. And we're going to continue the trend with cold mornings in the coming days. Mornings will be in the 30s through about Friday. Even a light freeze in San Antonio is possible on Thursday. This is much cooler than the average of 41. So taking you through your KSAT 12-hour forecast tomorrow, again, a cold start near 35 with a bit of a wind chill. Mostly sunny skies all day long tomorrow. It's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow as far as the sky is concerned, but just a little bit on the cool side. We'll be looking at temperatures in the 40s at 10 and 11, right at around noon, 51 degrees, and breezy too. We'll have northwest winds at about 10 miles per hour. Few gusts up to 20 are possible. 58 for the high temperature tomorrow in San Antonio. In your neighborhoods, it'll be 60 in Seguin, 62 in Hondo, 57 in Bernie, and 57 in Comfort up in the hill country. So again, looking at the forecast, quiet weather over the next few days, cold mornings near freezing. Afternoons will be near 60 degrees, so on the cool side. Then by Saturday, we do have the potential for a few showers, although coverage is not going to be anywhere like it was today. We had about 80% coverage of showers and storms this morning. On Thursday, it's only going to be about 30%. And again, over the weekend, though, pretty cool. It's a cool way to end January, which for the most part has been warmer than average. So nice change of pace, guys.
Thanks, Sarah.
We'll be right back. We've got some breaking news we want to take you live to with KSAT12 right now. A sinkhole has developed in the parking lot of the Target at Culebra and 1604. We're searching for it right now. KSAT12 just getting over the scene. What it looked like earlier is that there was a vehicle that was actually stuck in the middle of that sinkhole. I think that might be it, just beyond the trees there.
Yeah, you can see where the road is wet there. That's where we got a picture earlier of a vehicle, the front end of a vehicle that was down in that sinkhole. Couldn't tell from that angle exactly how big that area might be or if it appears to be getting any larger at the moment, but it looks like cars not being allowed through that section, that stretch there that's in question at the moment, but don't really see any first responders there that would indicate there are any injuries or anything like that right now.
Hope we get a better view here as we swing around. By the way, our Mark Austin was actually heard about this. I don't know if he was in the area, but he heard about it and let us know about it. Again, this is the Alamo Ranch area, Culebra 1604, but you can see the barricades that are set up there. You see that water that is still pooling right there, and it looks like it's really a sinkhole that kind of developed along that tree line there and goes from one intersection to the other intersection as you head towards the Target.
But the good news is, doesn't look like any cars right now are in that area being allowed, at least on that stretch, but certainly a lot of travel in and around this shopping center. Looks like one vehicle there may be able to tell, okay, I can't get through, so we're going to turn around and go the other way. We're going to keep monitoring this and see if anything else develops, but the issue is a sinkhole in the Target parking lot here at the Alamo Ranch area.
Yeah, have a crew on the way. Update tonight at 10.